Hello guys and girls, and welcome back to a new video today for me talking about football rivalries in Britain. So what I think about them and what I least think about them. So I'm going to be doing their wins, their losses and their draws that they've had in the past. And I'll be doing a picture of the logos of them teams and the players of some of their players from recent pictures, recent games they've had. So yeah, I'll be starting from number 10, then for so on to number 1. So who's going to be the best? I don't know. So we'll find out in this video. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. So let's go on with the video and let's start from number 10. Let's go. In 10th that I've got is a team called Ipswich Town, and their rivals are Norwich City, and Norwich are called the Canaries, and Ipswich Town are called the Tractor Boys, and obviously they're both in East Anglia. But who's the best team in East Anglia? Personally, I'm not a fan of these, but I've got a good mate who is, Alex Griffin, who also hates Norwich City because he's an Ipswich fan. But from what he's been telling me, they're scum, they're all this, they're all that. So what I'm going to suggest is, from what I know is, Norwich have won 47 times when they've played Ipswich Town, and Ipswich Town have won 45 games when they've been playing them, and they haven't won at their place for a few years, and they haven't beaten them for a few years at Ipswich, and they've had 23 draws. So I don't think it's the big derby on the big rivalry, but it's 10th. It's a big team in Norwich. Are they big? Are they big? No, I wouldn't say much. Ipswich, I think Ipswich are more bigger than Norwich, because obviously I know Norwich are in the Premier League, but they haven't won much things. They've won the Championship a few times, but I think Ipswich have won cups after cups a good few years ago, but I wouldn't really highly rate it as a big rivalry, but that's why I've put them in 10th place. So my number 9 is So the team in 9th is Cardiff City versus Swansea City. Massive derby, massive rivalry, hate each other, hate blood to guts. I'm not too sure about these teams, but they're a massive team in Wales. Obviously, Cardiff City play in the Cardiff City Stadium, and Swansea City play in the Liberty Stadium. They always have fights and everything. It's mental, it's crazy. But yeah, I know a few people that support Cardiff. I don't know many that support Swansea. But if I was going to say someone, I'd probably say Cardiff are the better team than Swansea. But that's my opinion. But from what I know is, Cardiff have won 22 games, and Swansea have won 28 times, and they've had 18 draws when they've been playing against each other, as obviously the massive rivalry in Wales. So I know that was only a short one, so I'm going to team number 7. Who is it? So team in 8th is Plymouth Argyle versus Exeter City, the Devon Derby as people call it. So it's Green Army versus Red Army, and Plymouth wins is 36 games, Exeter is 29 games, and there has been 26 draws. So Exeter not the best. Plymouth are decent. Obviously I've seen Plymouth play before when Plymouth played Tranmere, and obviously bad things happened to us when we went down. It was not the best, but yeah, I'm going to get a mate talking about this derby, so I'm going to show you Cam Vlogs right now. So here goes Cam Vlogs.
Hi, my name is Cam Vlogs and I'm talking about why the Devon Derby is massive. Just want to say a massive thank you to Alex who let me on his channel. And now, the reason why it's so massive is because the atmosphere from both sets of fans is incredible, and the fans absolutely hate each other. We're like, basically it's mainly hatred for both of each other, and basically the scenes when Argyle win is absolutely incredible. The limbs is absolutely immense. It's like at half time during the games this season we chatting like extra for losing against the Walsall or something like that. It's incredible. Basically as well, both clubs want the bragging rights out of Devon as well, but as you can tell, going by the record what Alex just said, that Devon is green at the moment in time, and our ground and our fan base is so much better than them, to be honest with them, because the last time we played Exeter back at home was back in 2017, and I think that the score was 3-0 to Argyle, I think. And the last time we played them, if you've been watching League 2, then we got battered 4-0. And yeah, we took it on the chin, but to be fair, our fans, when we lose, we take it on the chin. Exeter's fan base, when they lose, they go cry. When they win, or they just cry about it, really. Because when they beat us 4-0, that's all we hear from Exeter fans. 4-0, 4-0. But we've got something on them now, because we're third in the table and we're going up, possibly. But yeah, everything. It's just our rivalry is so underrated, but isn't really, because there's a vote in the English rivalries, and our Devon Derby got like 5th, or is in the top 5 of the vote. But yeah. However, Exeter don't have such a big support than us, because our ground, as you may know, holds 18,600, and compared to their 8,600. But that's enough from me. And I'll let Alex carry on with the video. Thank you, Alex, for having me on. And yeah, see you in a bit. Peace.
So the team in 7th. Team in 7th is Tranmere Rovers. Tranmere Rovers are my team, who I love, who I support. That obviously, when I was younger, my uncle took me to my first game, so that's a good fact that I know. Tranmere have won 11 games, Bolton have won 17 games, and there's been 10 draws. So what my thoughts of this game, of being a rivalry? It's always been a rivalry, because it's a Northwest derby, it's loads of hatred, everyone hates Bolton, everyone hates Tranmere, but we'll always be Tranmere. And we've beaten them in finals, we've beaten them in semi-finals and everything. We've beaten them in cups, and we've beaten them in the league this season. Even though we got beat by them this season as well, away. It was shocking. Obviously, there was fighting outside that after the game. It was horrible. But obviously, people just need to stay safe and everything. But obviously, big teams like that, it's going to happen. But yeah. I've put Tranmere in 7th versus Bolton Wanderers. So in my team number 6. So my team in number 6 is Newcastle United versus Sunderland. The Mackhams versus the Geordies. Always a massive game when they've played each other. Obviously, because they've got it's always mental, it's everything. Obviously, the Newcastle players used to have the likes of Lee Bowyer, Kieran Dyer, and obviously Sunderland had the likes of Lee Cattermole, which they used to always have fights all the time. And obviously the fans always have fights, because if you go to Newcastle, you have to support near enough Newcastle. But if you live near Sunderland, you have to support Sunderland because they're the big teams in that area, I'd say. But it's like, it's massive. It is massive. But yeah, Newcastle have won 53 games and Sunderland have won 53 games. But there's been 50 draws. So that there must have been an interesting game. It must have been massive for both teams. So yes, that is my number 6. So going on to my number 5 is Aston Villa versus Birmingham City. Massive game in the West Midlands. Both hate each other like mad. Aston Villa play at Villa Park. Birmingham City play at St Andrews. There's always fighting between these two clubs. From what I know is obviously the last time Villa played Birmingham, Birmingham fan abused Jack Grealish, hit him on the pitch, which the fan got on the pitch somehow, and then obviously a few minutes later Jack Grealish scores the winner against Birmingham City. So that's life. Obviously he scores. He literally scored, and he literally felt like he just won the Champions League when they beat Birmingham City, because obviously they're massive rivals and everything. But yeah, it was obviously them type of games are really good. So yeah, I definitely keep watching them. And obviously Villa have won 57 times against Birmingham. Birmingham have won 38 times, and there has been 33 draws in the game. So I'm going on to my number 4. So team in number 4 is Arsenal versus Tottenham Hotspur. Obviously Arsenal play at the Emirates Stadium and Tottenham play at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, the new one, which I think is fantastic. Before that, I'll be talking about the wins and the losses. So Arsenal have won 76 times against Spurs, and Spurs have won 56 times, and there's been 49 draws. So it's been really good games. Always fighting in them games. Always goals, everything. You get limbs, you get everything. But obviously you get comebacks. I remember when it was Arsenal were 4-0 up, and then it was 4-4 against Tottenham at their new stadium, Arsenal's new stadium, the Emirates. But there's always fighting between them. It was like when Sol Campbell moved from Spurs to Arsenal, or was it Arsenal to Spurs? I'm not too sure, the other way around, but there was fights about that. But yeah, I will always say Spurs are better than Arsenal because I hate Arsenal. But yeah, so that is my number 4. We're getting to the good bits now and the good teams. Going to my number 3 is West Ham versus Millwall. There's always fighting in these games. There's always fighting with the players, their fans. Even though there was a fight on their pitch a few seasons ago when they last played at the West Ham Stadium, it wasn't the players on the pitch fighting, it was the fans. So the fans just run on the pitch, just fighting, scrapping, everything. I think it's a joke. So why do it on the pitch? If you want to fight, do it outside, and let the football players do the business on the pitch instead of fighting on the pitch. But yeah, it's massive rivalry. There's always fighting with the players, the fans, and everything. So yeah, because it's a big game, it's a big rivalry with West Ham and Millwall. But yeah, this is going to come to a shock for a few people. West Ham have won 34 games when they've played Millwall, and Millwall have won 38 games, and there's been 27 draws. So personally, I think that's a bit weird. Millwall better than West Ham, maybe. But I'd love to see them play again. But just have a normal game. No fighting, just have a normal game. But it probably won't happen. It'll be always fighting. So yeah. So going on to my team number 2. So my team number 2 is a team that I have been, obviously I support, but I prefer Tranmere a lot more, is Manchester United. Manchester United versus Liverpool. That's a massive rivalry. Personally, I hate Liverpool. If someone said to me, "Why do you hate Liverpool?" Well, I'll tell you why. I hate Liverpool because they think they know everything. They think they're all this, they think they're all that. They think they're better than United when they're actually not. Because Manchester United have won more games than Liverpool. Man United have won 88 times. Liverpool have won 77 times. And there's been 67 draws. But obviously, I've been to one of these games, and it can be scary. It can be scary. It just depends where you end up. But it's an amazing atmosphere when you go. It's limbs. When you see United score, oh my god, it's limbs. I've been to United games when we beat Liverpool 3-0, 1-0, last minute, Gary Neville. Do you remember when Gary Neville ran up to the Liverpool fans? That was a bit saucy, but that was class. Because I like Gary Neville. But yeah, Liverpool, obviously, when Liverpool played United and Liverpool won at United 4-1, that was a horrible day. But there's always fighting between these clubs. But obviously, I've got a few mates that support Liverpool, and I've got a few mates that support United. But yeah, it's football in the way. It's banter, it's everything. But there always will be a rivalry between these two clubs because they're both in the northwest. But it is really enjoyable to watch. I love. That's probably the best game in the Premier League that I've ever watched. Man United Liverpool always is the best games to watch. So yeah, they're my number 2. So who's number 1? So the team who are in first is Celtic versus Rangers. This is a massive game. This is probably one of the best games in Britain. Celtic versus Rangers is always a good game. Always fights. There's always banter. There's always everything. Goals, limbs, everything. To be fair, I'd love to go to an Old Firm game because obviously it's always mental. It's always good. Obviously, Celtic is an amazing stadium. The Ibrox is an amazing stadium. But yeah, I'd love to go to one of the games. But yeah, from what I know is Celtic wins have won 159. Rangers have won 162. And there's been 99 draws. Which, that's mental. 99 draws, wow. Always games, always goals, always everything. Always limbs, always fighting. They hate each other like blood because obviously, because in Scotland it's all big one surrounding, but obviously in the UK there's different places, northwest and everything, southwest and everything. But I think in Scotland it's near enough just all together. But yeah, but Celtic Rangers is far the best game to watch, I'd probably say, because it's just such a good game. It's brutal. Everything. The fans hate each other. Celtic Rangers, who do you support? If you live in Celtic, you probably have to support Celtic or Rangers. Personally, I prefer Rangers over Celtic any day. Because obviously, one of the reasons I hate Liverpool. Celtic sing "You Never Walk Alone." I hate that song. Hate it. That's why. I prefer Rangers, even though Steven Gerrard's their manager. It doesn't bother me. Even though obviously Gerrard used to play for Liverpool, doesn't bother me because I know Steven Gerrard will never win a Premier League title. But yeah, that's my opinion. That's my top 10 rivalries. So I hope you guys liked it and enjoyed it. So for next time, I'll see you next time in the next video, and please like and subscribe to Cam Vlogs as well. So yeah, I'll see you guys again next time. So goodbye.